These cups out of the way. What's up, children of the sun? Metaphysical advisor, Montre Bible. Checking in on you guys, seeing what's going on. Um, what is it? Tuesday, the 5th of October. Uh, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? Man, it's been already been a crazy week, right? Let's see if I can resituate the camera a little bit. All right. That way I'm not totally trying to look at the chat and look at you guys at the same time with the camera. Anyway, it's been a crazy week. Yesterday, Facebook Corporation went completely down. That included Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus. I have a VR headset, so I think people could not log into their VR headsets. Um, and the big question is like, does Facebook have way too much power? A lot of people was like, is it planned? I think they already came out and said it was planned, or that the reasoning of it was that they the servers were switching routers, and because of that, it shut everything down. I don't think it was planned in the sense that okay, they meant to be down for 6 hours. Maybe they were trying to change servers and it just didn't quite go out as planned as they thought it would. Why are they changing servers? I don't know. Changing routers or servers or whatever. Now, what is the bigger thing here? Is there something more to it? I mean, why are they changing servers? Or, there's billions of people on Facebook, and it's what kind of database or computer do you need to even hold that much information to be able to keep that much data, to collect that much data continually 24/7? Facebook is not like something where it's closed. It's ongoing. It's 24/7. So to have that much computing power, can you imagine if you just left your computer on 24/7? It would eventually break down. Now, with that being said, it's Mercury retrograde time, and it's retrograde in Libra. Libra rules relationships. And so it's kind of expected when Mercury breaks down communication. So a lot of people could not communicate. They started realizing that when it comes to relationships and stuff, how many people do you actually have their phone number? How many people do you actually have them in your phone, like your cell phone, or how many numbers do you have actually memorized? Because when social media goes down, you can't be dependent on social media, you know, to keep in contact with people, and if if the only people you talk to are on social media and you don't have their personal information, you don't have their number, are they really your friend? If the only time they contact you is through Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever, but you don't have their personal number where you can just call them on the phone if they went into Facebook jail, and you could just check on them, do you really know them? And that's the thing. So use this as a time to say, okay, let me reconnect with people that I find important in my life and make sure that I have their information, or at least I've memorized their phone number. If push come to shove, my own cell phone goes dead and becomes a brick. At least I can call somebody on another phone and at least have that contact. And this is not a fear mongering. This is just common sense, is have at least two or three people where you have their number memorized. And can you say you have that? Can you say you've done that before? There was a time back in the day where everybody's number, most important people, you had their numbers memorized. So I implore you, use this as a lesson from the universe, um, to take the time and Figure out who's important in your life and uh, memorize those numbers. See who's in your phone. Actually, I have a lot of people in my phone that I didn't realize I had, and I was like, I need to delete some of these people because I don't talk to any of these folks. You know, you ever get that where people are always asking for your phone number or you exchange numbers and they never talk to you, and you're like, wasting space, right? Um, Anyways, if you guys are in the chat and you want to ask a general question for tarot about what's going on in the world, I will look it up. If you have a personal question, please avoid personal questions unless you're donating or you are a member. If you are a member, you can ask a personal question um, for yourself. But other than that, what else is going on? Um, what's going on, Vesper? Shout out, Vesper. What are you talking about? You said people are so addicted to social media. I remember people calling me crazy for saying before, uh, calling me crazy for saying before changed the algorithm and deleted my Facebook in 2015. Yeah, Facebook has been changing the algorithm a lot. Uh, Instagram has been changing their algorithm based upon most of the new features that they want to push. So if you're not really doing the new features, your stuff is probably not going to be seen. What do you want? You want to say hi? Um, right before, and a lot of people have been talking about that it was a little sketchy because some whistleblower came out talking about how Facebook's algorithm is only on negative news that's polarizing and divisive. And for those that don't know, polarization is very much a very big spiritual thing. Um, Polarizing and getting people to be on one side or the other is a very spiritual and magical concept of keeping people divided. You can control people that way if you keep them polarized. So it says Facebook, this whistleblower says Facebook has been doing it on purpose, pushing people who post things that are divisive and making it more viral. So like people would comment and be angry and post comments on stuff that was making them angry, news that was making them angry. And so people would see more of that on their news feed. Of course, we always see negative stuff on Facebook. So Facebook got a lot of flack for that. And right after that woman did that interview on 60 Minutes, I haven't seen it, so I'm not gonna say a lot. I've only seen clips. Um, Facebook shuts down. Maybe they changed their algorithm right after that because and that's the conspiracy behind everything is that after the whistleblower she did this news interview, um, all of a sudden Facebook shuts down their whole system. So that was really weird. Sure, was it Shariona? She said, "Am I doing questions? I'm doing general questions. If you donate, I'll do a personal reading unless you're a member, or I do free readings on Tuesday." Um, the trap of duality is no joke, says Vesper. Yes, duality is a very spiritual aspect. If you understand duality, light, darkness, good, bad, cold, hot, um, you are able to manipulate not only your circumstances, but also it's just a magical spiritual practice of control, of understanding duality, the chessboard, the chess pieces, and stuff like that. Now, my question was, does Facebook have too much control? Now, here's the thing: Facebook has a monopoly almost on social media right now, next to Google and Twitter. Everybody, Facebook goes down, the whole Facebook corporation goes down. Everybody runs to Twitter, so Twitter has a lot of power too. Um, Google has power as one of the biggest search engines. Google owns YouTube, the Alphabet company, whatever. So you have your big three right there: Twitter, Google, and Facebook. So they have a lot of power on a lot of data and a lot of information. Uh, while Facebook has a lot of power, you can't break up Facebook without saying, should you break up the other monopolies? Because if you break up Facebook, here's the good and the bad. You break up Facebook, you're giving your data to a lot of different companies because they're going to have to sell it to somebody. Who are they going to sell it to? They're going to sell it to TikTok? Are they going to sell it to Twitter? I mean, who's got the money to buy it, right? To buy portions of Facebook. You got to have the money to do it. They're going to sell it to Microsoft. Do you want Bill Gates owning your data? No. So, and we definitely don't want the government just taking control of the Facebook corporation because, and most people already think that the government already has their hands in Facebook, the CIA and whatnot. But let's say if the government takes complete control, and then which government? The United States government? The United States government takes control of Facebook. That's not a good thing either, because then you have the United States in control of a lot of data, and that's what they really want. They want to control everybody's data, have this nice, good, clean database. And then you're saying, oh, they probably already have it. Yeah, they probably do, but this would be an ongoing thing that they have years of data on private citizens that they probably did not have. They probably have photos and stuff that they probably did not have before, and they would have government usage to use it any way they wanted to. Vesper says, here's my question. Will there be any relief for the poor and struggling before the next presidential election? For the poor and struggling? Well, Vesper, I don't know if with the tarot reading, I can tell you, without doing a tarot reading, I'm going to say probably no. Only because I said in my previous readings, I said the eclipse is happening. And the eclipses, we have a 2023 eclipse and we have a 2024 eclipse. And I don't think that's going to be good for anybody, especially on a financial level. Yeah, they already have everybody's pics. I believe they do. Yeah, they have everybody's photos and stuff. So just to give, you don't want to give the government any more information that they already don't have. So imagine if they just completely took over Facebook. That's just basically just 24/7 surveillance because people use it too much and they already have past history on you. And even if you weren't on Facebook, they would have information on people that they don't have information on, because Facebook is a place where it's about association. So even the people you know, they have information on them based upon your interaction with them. Will there be any relief for poor people and the impoverished before the next election? We'll see an improvement on the poor. That was a jumper. That's a no. That's a no. That's a no. I pretty much said it. So the jumper was the 10 of Wands. This is about stress. This is about other people's stress. Because these are all no's, I can just read these as is. So the 10 of Wands is also talks about stress. The Knight of Cups, talks about emotions and something coming in or something leaving. I kind of feel like a lot of people are going to lose their feelings, their empathy, their passion. And the Magician is reversed as well. This tells me manipulation, a lot of tricks, a lot of manipulation when it comes to government and poor people. So that's not a good thing, not a great reading, but I kind of sensed it anyways, just because the eclipse is happening and what's about to happen. What's been happening with the United States. Like I said, I really feel like there's going to be some kind of economic issue with the United States between here and 2024. You never go into an election being fully happy. There's always going to be some problems, a major problem. So I kind of sense that some type of major problem that's going to be a voting issue in 2024. And, no need to dwell on that. I just say be financially independent. I've been telling my friends, you don't want to have a government job or a state job during this time. It's not a great time to be working for the state, to be working for the government. any form or fashion. If you are, I'm sorry for you. You want to avoid those type of jobs because not only are they jobs of control, you're not going to be able to do anything you want. They're going to be telling you what to do. You're not going to have any rights. You're just going to take it all away in the name of giving you money. So that includes military, um, like what they're doing to flight attendants, something simple as that. And you're like, that's not a state job, but the federal government controls the airways, so they can tell airports to do whatever they want. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So, a lot of stuff I get intuitive feels about, like, and I don't talk about it because I feel like, oh, or I have a dream about it, and I'm just like, okay. But intuitively, I would feel like stay away from state jobs, stay away from. And I hate to say that because there are a lot of people who are teachers and they love doing that, but it's going to be hard being a teacher because if you think about it, you may love working with kids, but the things that they are going to force you to teach are going to be lies. Basically, they're going to revamp education. It's going to be a bunch of stuff that's not true because it's institutionalized. They want to indoctrinate kids. They want to indoctrinate the future. They're not going to be teaching children truth. They're going to be teaching children history as they want kids to know it for the future. They're going to be rewriting history little by little things will change. So it's going to be hard being a teacher because you're going to be like, what? I didn't learn this as a kid. Is this still relevant? So there's going to be a lot of things I feel like they're just like slowly putting in little things here and there until education is completely changed. You're like, what are they teaching kids? Unless you're a teacher in a private school, and I hear that's even getting hard, or a teacher in the homeschool arena, which may be different. I don't know. Um, but I feel like people will start building their own little private education hubs to teach their kids. It may be private school or charter school related, but you'll probably start seeing more of that. And if you're a teacher, you may want to move toward that. You see a lot of nurses and doctors leaving the medical industry or getting fired. What's happening to all those people? I think there's going to be a lot of excuse me, getting tongue back. A lot of private practices popping up. So that are going to be trying to separate from the mainstream medical industry, which is going to have a whole different agenda. And that's what I see. So be looking for that. Be looking for private practices who they're going to be able to do their own thing. And a lot of people who are going to be opening up natural medicine when that starts getting big. Like, just wait till Saturn moves into Pisces. That's going to be in 2023. He said, so many of my friends are in those fields. I've been telling them to at least invest in cryptos. Yeah. As we become more of the digital world, we become more aware. Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, all that stuff. We become more aware that we're living in a big old video game. And you got to buy those game credits, basically. It becomes more and more aware that this is a video game. So, yeah. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, what is that? I'm trying to learn it myself, but it's all become this like digital currency. And I'm like, what? What is this? So I'm still trying to educate myself on this. I'm Gen X, so there's a lot of stuff that I'm not familiar with, nor do I really have the time to care. But like when Facebook went down, I didn't even know until maybe 3 o'clock Central Time, maybe 3 or 4. And I saw it on Twitter. I was busy working. My day job is doing websites and stuff. So I was busy working, talking to clients. And then next thing you know, I look on Twitter and I see hashtag Facebook down. But it's happened before, so I wasn't really tripping about it because it's always going down to some extent. But then when I saw to the extent of how much it went down, that Instagram was down, WhatsApp was down, people couldn't message anybody. And people were freaking out, and that it was down for 6 hours. I was like, "Oh wow, that's a long time." And I think they lost like $6 billion or something like that. in revenue and advertisement because nobody could access the site. And I think actually my phone could access. I didn't have any problem being on it. I could see it. I think I had seen a bunch of saved stuff, like nothing was refreshing. So I was looking at a bunch of old posts, which I'm kind of used to because that's what Facebook normally does. Is I see a bunch of old posts. So maybe I don't know if I'm in this little bubble where Facebook isn't really showing me anything new at all. But I usually see posts from yesterday, and that's what I was seeing anyways. Some people said they couldn't even see posts, they couldn't see anything, or they couldn't even log in. So it was really crazy. And you say, hit me up anytime. I can give you some resources on cryptos. Yeah, man, I definitely will. I will talk to you about that. See, give me some more info so I can educate myself on all of that. I think my sister was trying to school me on that. She's older than me, but she's pretty good at knowing what's the best thing to do, or at least make some investments. I'm not going to stay on here long, guys. You can ask general questions on the world. If you guys have questions about the world and the state of the world, um, personal questions have to be donations, or if you are a member of my channel, which is only I think $2 a month. I haven't looked. $2 a month. You can anytime I do a Tarot Tuesday, members can ask questions for free, personal questions. Um, I think that's a deal. I, but let's see. But that's how it is. I need to put my glasses on because this chat is super tiny. But yeah, so I don't just do just questions out for everybody. Otherwise, people will be blowing me up. Okay, what's coming with the Greenbrier area? Has it? Wait a minute, let me read that. What's coming up with the Greenbrier area? Has is it cursed? Should I ask that? The Greenbrier area, is it cursed? Is that the question? Is this a neighborhood? Is the Greenbrier area, is that a neighborhood? I'm not familiar with that. So she's asking, is the Greenbrier area cursed? I don't know anything about the Greenbrier area. I can ask. It's a big area in Southwest Atlanta. Oh, okay. Well, let's look. And then you'll give me some history on that. I would love to know. Is the Greenbrier area cursed? This is in Atlanta. Let's look. That's a no. That's a yeah. Oh, you want to jump? That's a no. No, it's not cursed, but I did get one yes. So we have the Ten of Pentacles, no, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Magician reverse. So the Magician reverse is in there. This tells me there's something going on, but it's not cursed. I kind of feel like you have some spiritual people in this area that are playing with stuff. They might be playing with magic, or you have people who are not experienced who are using manipulation or trickery. It doesn't necessarily have to be magic, but they're using it for selfish means and ways to relieve their own situation, the Ten of Wands. But it's a very immature energy. Okay, you have the Page of Swords. So these people are still learning. So you may have people who are either dealing with magic or people who are just manipulative in general, because you have the Magician card reverse. No, it's not cursed, but you do have people who are doing a lot of tricks and a lot of stuff that's causing negative stuff to happen. And they're doing it for themselves. They're only doing it for their personal gain. And this is where the problem happens when you deal with, even if you deal with the dark arts, if you're doing it only for personal gain, if you're not really trying to help other people and stuff like that, there can be consequences and repercussions that happen because of that. And because of that, nothing is free. So when they do stuff, other things happen, and other people do stuff, and other things happen. So this is what happens when you have a lot of immature people who are practicing magic or the dark arts, and they're only doing it. Well, I just want to get some money, and the spirits will listen to you, and they'll get you some money. But okay, so what are you getting money for? So one person gets something and another person gets something, or a person gets an opportunity, or they see an opportunity, they just take it. So it's almost like, and this is why a lot of stuff was hidden from people or common people, because it was only given to elders and priests, so the elders and priests can allocate how that magic was given out. But we're getting to a point where everybody can kind of learn stuff on their own, but not everybody's responsible. And because of that, you get a lot of people doing stupid shit, trying to put love spells on folks that don't need to be in love with them. You know what I'm saying? Or, all kinds of bullshit. So if you kind of get that, this is what I'm kind of feeling from these cards. A lot of people who are playing with stuff that probably are not gifted in it, or don't need to be in it, or doing it out of their own selfish reasons. So them kitchen witches think they got the recipe, yeah. But this is what I'm kind of. This is the energy that I'm getting, the message that I'm getting. I don't know anything about Greenbrier, but when I see the Magician reverse, then I see the Page of Swords next to it, I'm thinking this is very immature, manipulative energy of someone who's like to just play with stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this, even though maybe they don't need to. They don't need to try to do that. Yeah, kitchen witches. But I know you get a lot of that. You're seeing a lot of that. I was watching a video of one of my favorite witches. My favorite witches. That sounds like a comedy show. And she was talking about she gives a lot of information on YouTube, and she was upset because somebody was doing a candle ritual in their car. You can't make that stuff up. If you're like, why would you do that? It's crazy. So she's trying to school these people, like, don't do that. And it's like, if you have to tell people that's not a good thing to do, then it's probably some people don't need to be playing with fire. Like, I feel like if it's too much, or if you don't have the means, you may need to hire somebody to do it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying me, because I'm not ready for all that. But there are priests and priestesses who will, if you pay them enough money, they'll do it for you. And then there's charlatans too that would take your money and run with it. So you got to be careful of that too. So use your discernment wisely, and really decide on what you really need and what you don't. Same thing is like, even if you're a Christian and you want to go to church, every church ain't good. You have a lot of pastors that ain't talking nothing. They ain't preaching nothing, but they'll take your tithe money. So it's the same thing. And I just feel like spirituality is just evolving to a different level, but the same people are doing the same stuff. You still have charlatans out there. You still have people who are taking advantage. And what can you do? You see, I have a tarot shop in Greenbrier, but yeah, the street over the building, the cult building an occult at the Botanica. I heard. I'm sorry, I need to put my glasses on. I'm getting old, and this chat is really tiny. You have a tarot shop. Good for you. I'm glad you have a tarot shop. The street over, they're building an occult at the Botanica. Botanicals are good because botanicals have different things, but it depends on who owns the Botanica too. Yeah, that lady was literally playing with fire for real. Um, I've heard so many stories of people. There was like, what can I do? Like, I heard one story. She couldn't have candles in her apartment or whatever. She was like, "Can I burn an electric candle?" And I'm like, doing a spell with an electric candle? And those electric candles, you just turn them on. And I'm like, there's nothing natural about that. Everything is supposed to be about the nature and natural and the elements. And an electric candle is not really an element. It's a device, you know. Say talk about ghetto. Yeah, it's just a little weird. So you want to keep things as natural as possible. Not don't use electric candles for rituals. Using a nightlight. Oh my goodness. Initiation. I see, you know what? Yeah, a lot of people are really interested in initiation. I see initiation like religion. You know how you have to be a member of a church denomination. I think Black people in particular have been doing this for centuries. You know, we're very tribal. What's your denomination? Are you Baptist? Are you Pentecost? Are you Church of God in Christ? You know, and in the spiritual magical world, I see the same thing. So initiation, I kind of sense is like that. Where you have to be initiated into a certain group, and with that group there's power because there's power in numbers. Do you have to be? I don't believe so. And I'm not a very religious person, so I kind of stay out of groups. If I change my mind further down the line, I change my mind. But at this point, I just like I don't really feel kind of like I want to be with this group. I want to be initiated with that group. I want to say you know what I mean? So there's a lot of stuff you can learn on your own. Just read a book. And then if you have friends that are like mine, you can still develop your own group, and just like, hey, let's practice together. You know, let me do a spell for you, you do a spell for me. Let's do a reading on each other, stuff like that. So that's how you develop your craft and strengthen yourself, and pray blessings on each other, and protect each other and put, you know, get your little core group, and just put that energy, keep that energy strong with each other. Make sure you're praying for somebody, keeping them strong, especially during this time because this matrix stuff is crazy. Uh, your friend is initiated as a high priestess, took her like 5 years. Lord have mercy. That's like going to college. It's like going to college. Let me see. What'd you say, Vesper? Isn't the simulation the same? Oh, what does that say? Did you say simulation or what is that word? Silicrum the same though? The symbols are forever. Symbols always stay forever. Yeah. You gotta go? Yeah, I'm about to head out too, man. Love and light, bro. I ain't gonna stay up in here long. I got some more stuff to do. Um, so I just wanted to check in with you guys. I'm going to try to finish these monthly readings. Who's up next? I think Sag. I already Sag. Sagittarius. Oh, okay. All right, guys. I don't want to keep y'all too long. You know what I'm saying? I just want to chat with y'all, talk to y'all about Facebook and all this stuff. Please, just remember, put your protection circles up, protect your energy, because these folks are serious out here. Everybody's not mundane, So some of this stuff, some of these people really know what they're doing, especially up in higher places, higher positions of government. Don't play the fool and act like they don't know spirituality and astrology. They know. Okay. Saturn goes direct this weekend as well as Pluto. So we're going to be seeing some more major shifts happening. So keep your eyes open. We also have a new moon on Wednesday. All right. So stay prayed up, light your candles, keep the devil out, and make your reality happen. Because if you don't do it, then who will?